Hey everyone, welcome back to Social Security Post. We've got a huge update straight from the White House, and this one might surprise you. President Donald Trump just signed a new executive order that freezes most federal hiring across the government. Now, a lot of people instantly panic when they hear hiring freeze and government shutdown in the same sentence. But here's the twist. This move could actually be a good thing for Social Security recipients. This new order aims to cut waste, fraud, and political bloat inside the federal system, while protecting the programs that matter most: Social Security, Medicare, and veterans benefits. And the best part? The official White House memo specifically confirms there will be no negative impact on your benefits or payments. So stay with me, because in this video, we're breaking down exactly what this order does, how it affects Social Security offices and workers, what happens next with the shutdown, and why this could actually make your benefits more secure long term. And before we dive in, make sure to like and subscribe to Social Security Post for clear, fact-based updates about your checks, COLA, and benefits. Let's start with the key line everyone's talking about. Trump's new executive order, signed on October 15th, states, no federal civilian position that is vacant may be filled, and no new position may be created. In other words, most federal agencies cannot hire new workers or replace those who retire, at least for now. But this is not a mass layoff or a cut to essential services. It's a temporary hiring freeze designed to slow down federal spending during the ongoing government shutdown, which is now entering its third week. The order does make some important exceptions. Agencies dealing with national security, immigration enforcement, and public safety are allowed to hire. And crucially, the White House memo also lists Social Security and Medicare under programs protected from harm. So, your payments and SSA services continue without disruption. Trump also directed each agency to form a strategic hiring committee made up of senior officials, including deputy agency heads and chiefs of staff, to make sure every hire supports the administration's goals of efficiency and accountability. Now, let's talk about timing. This order came right as the previous hiring freeze directive, signed on January 20th, was about to expire. But with the shutdown dragging on, the White House decided to extend and tighten it instead of letting it lapse. Trump has repeatedly said he wants to slim down the federal government, claiming it's rife with fraud, waste, and abuse. And the data backs up a major reduction already. More than 201,000 federal jobs have been shed since he took office. The goal here isn't to punish federal workers, but to restructure how government operates, especially during a shutdown when many offices are already closed or partially staffed. By requiring approval for every hire, the administration hopes to ensure tax dollars go only where they're needed most, and that includes protecting benefit programs like SSA, Medicare, and veterans services. For millions of seniors, the big question is, will this affect my Social Security office? The good news? No, it won't. The order clearly states that the freeze will not have any adverse effect on Social Security or Medicare operations. That means local SSA offices will stay open, phone lines will continue running, and benefits will continue being processed and paid on time. Yes, staffing may tighten slightly, especially in administrative or regional roles, but essential employees like claims representatives, appeals officers, and IT technicians remain protected. And if an SSA office urgently needs new hires to manage workloads, the Office of Personnel Management can grant exceptions. So, if you have an appointment, waiting on a claim, or expecting a new payment cycle, nothing changes. Your benefits are safe, and the agency is fully funded to continue operations, even under this freeze. Here's where this gets interesting. Cutting back on unnecessary hiring can actually be good news for Social Security's financial health. Each year, the SSA's administrative budget exceeds $13 billion, most of which goes toward salaries and overhead. By freezing non-essential hires, the government can redirect those savings to where they matter most, improving online systems, boosting cybersecurity, and reducing delays for claim processing. The White House fact sheet makes this very clear. This new hiring plan ensures tax dollars are spent in an efficient manner and that services provided to Americans improve. In other words, instead of expanding bureaucracy, this focuses spending on service delivery. For seniors, that means fewer middle managers and more efficient digital access, from faster claim approvals to smoother benefit updates. Long-term, this approach could help modernize the SSA and protect its trust funds from being drained by wasteful costs. Now, let's connect the dots with the ongoing government shutdown, which has now entered its third week. Normally, a shutdown would cause huge disruptions, but despite the freeze, Social Security checks are still being paid, Medicare coverage is still active, and appeals are still being processed. Trump described the shutdown as an unprecedented opportunity to remove programs that aren't popular with Republicans. In plain terms, that means trimming federal programs viewed as unnecessary or politically biased. But this doesn't touch programs like SSA or Medicare because they are funded differently. Social Security operates from trust funds paid by payroll taxes, not discretionary annual budgets. That makes it immune to short-term shutdown chaos. So, while thousands of other federal workers face delays, SSA beneficiaries remain unaffected. That's a huge relief for seniors relying on those payments every month. On the same day Trump signed the order, a federal judge in San Francisco temporarily blocked the administration from sending out new layoff notices during the shutdown. This is an important detail. There's a big difference between a hiring freeze and a layoff. The freeze simply pauses new hires, while layoffs permanently eliminate jobs. The court ruling stops layoffs, but the hiring freeze still stands, meaning fewer new employees, but no mass job losses. For SSA workers, this means stability. They keep their jobs, the system stays fully operational, and you, the beneficiary, continue receiving your check every month. OMB Director Russell Vought confirmed that around 4,100 layoff notices were already issued before the court stepped in, and he expects that number to eventually reach 10,000 once legal challenges are settled. However, these layoffs are aimed at non-essential departments and administrative positions, not Social Security or Medicare. Those are considered critical services under federal law, meaning they're shielded from cuts. So while other agencies may shrink, SSA will likely hold steady, ensuring recipients don't experience service interruptions. The administration sees this restructuring as a step toward a leaner, more accountable government heading into the next fiscal year. Now, this part ties everything together politically. Democrats are demanding changes to certain provisions in the One Big Beautiful Bill Act and the Working Families Tax Cut Act as part of negotiations to reopen the government. Republicans, however, insist these laws ensure Medicaid, Medicare, and ACA subsidies are directed only to citizens and lawful residents, not to anyone who isn't legally eligible. For Social Security recipients, this is a good sign. It means benefits like SSI, SSDI, and retirement payments remain focused on legitimate beneficiaries. This reduces the risk of fraud and helps preserve the long-term solvency of the Social Security Trust Fund. So while the political battles continue, the underlying focus of this order and related legislation is on making sure your benefits are protected and prioritized. Let's look at the big picture. This executive order isn't about cutting benefits, it's about cutting inefficiency. For decades, the federal government has ballooned in size, while programs like SSA have faced funding pressure. By freezing new, unnecessary hiring, the administration reduces administrative costs that eat away at the money meant for beneficiaries. It also prevents politically motivated appointments and focuses resources where they're needed, like timely benefit processing, system upgrades, and fraud prevention. For seniors, this is positive. It helps protect the funds that ensure monthly checks, Medicare support, and disability payments continue for decades to come. And with SSA moving more services online, this shift toward a leaner, technology-driven operation could improve accuracy and reduce costly human error. So here's the bottom line. Despite the headlines, this executive order is good news for Social Security recipients. Your benefits, payments, and coverage are protected. The administration is simply freezing non-essential hiring to cut waste and make sure tax dollars work harder for the people who truly need them. This move strengthens accountability inside government while ensuring that core programs like Social Security, Medicare, and veterans' benefits remain untouched. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you think this hiring freeze is a smart way to protect Social Security's future? Drop your thoughts below. I'll be replying to your questions and reading your comments personally. And if you found this update helpful, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Social Security Post.